What's up everybody, my name is Darth Jaswick and welcome back to my channel. Today we're building a cemetery in Forgotten Hollow on the lot where Vlad used to live. It's already got like somewhat of a graveyard all the way around it, so I figured this would be the perfect spot to add one. I've never actually built a cemetery in The Sims 4 before, so this was really fun for me. I really like to keep my graves from like generational Let's Plays or even graves that I find around the world. If I just take my sim out to like the bar and somebody happens to die while I'm there, I usually just pick up those graves and take them home with me. But if you have too many graves on your home lot, it kind of gets a little glitchy and like there's ghosts all the time. Like annoyingly all the time. Like they will constantly just show up inside your house and like possess your stuff and break it. So it's just nice to have a lot to keep all of these graves on. I actually made this a generic lot type so that no other Sims could just show up at the lot and like steal your graves, because for some reason the generic lot type doesn't allow like NPCs to roam onto the lot unless they're like going to talk to your Sims, but other than that they don't like interact with anything on the lot, at least from the gameplay that I've done myself. I called this lot the Forgotten Cemetery because I wanted everything to look like it was super overgrown. We're using an old brick from the Vampires pack, and the wallpaper is also from Vampires. I thought it would be nice to have an organ upstairs in the... I almost wanted to call it a pulpit. I'm not sure if that's right though. It's just on the second floor. There's a pipe organ. If your Sims want to come here and just play it for their dead Sims, feel free to. I like this open book statue from the Vampire pack as well. I think it looks like maybe like a religious text that they were opening and reading to, you know, lay that person to rest. I used a door from Get Together. I was going to do the stained glass windows from that same pack, but they just didn't look right. I have the medium wall height, so they were just a little short, and the ones I ended up going with are from Get Famous, I want to say, and then there's the round one in the back that is from My Wedding Stories. I put a ton of these vines from the Vampire pack on the outside of the church, like they're everywhere, and then I also used the Jungle Adventure like floor coverage vines and put them everywhere as well, to make it look like the ivy had started growing from like the garden and then just creeped all the way up to the top of the church. When I did the ground coverage vines, I just stopped recording because I was like, I don't know how long this is going to take me. And I was also doing a lot of digging through debug as well, and it just takes a long time to search through the debug menu. But we only have like so many plants in the game available to us without cheats, so it'd be nice if they added a lot more like of the debug plants to the build by catalog. But I doubt that that will ever happen. I wish they would just like give us new trees and stuff with every pack, because we really don't have a lot of landscaping options. And that's why I tend to use a lot of debug landscaping, because a lot of it is really, really nice. Like there's different color like low-lying flowers. Like I usually use the yellow ones that come from the regular build by catalog, but there's like purple and blue ones in debug. Like just more swatches of the trees or landscaping in general would be nice. So I'm kind of creating like a little spot for your urns. Like if funerals were like an actual gameplay event, you could put the urn up there on the front little table and then like kind of honor those people by putting like pictures or items that they had throughout their life on the table. I also added this like cool thing from the Romantic Garden kit and put a bunch of flowers in there just to give the building a little bit more shape, because it is just a big box. I actually can't remember how many packs I used for this build. I know it was quite a few. I tried to create a little bell tower to go on top of the church, just to make it look a little bit more interesting and not use so many windows. I did this using a bell from the Wedding Stories pack, actually. I sized it down one and then put like these mission style windows from the base game over it, so you can like just barely see the bell when you're looking at it, but I think it looks really cool. I also put a ton of candles everywhere, like around the pipe organ. I also put them like downstairs, like by the pews. I also found this really cool cabinet from Vampires that has like a skull in it, so I put that up there in the pulpit. Then I added a hanging plant from the Bloomin' Rooms kit. I love that kit. It's like honestly one of my favorite kits. It comes with tons of plants, obviously. It's one of my favorite kits aside from like the greenhouse kits for plants, because it comes with a lot of really nice ones. The only other thing I added up here was a rug, because I thought it needed one, and your Sims can still get up here. I did play test it. They can still like get off the ladder and everything, so that's fine. And oh my god, these freezes. I was getting super annoyed because they were just trying to clip to everything and nothing at the same time. It's so frustrating. Like when I was landscaping, one of the fences that I connected to like make a garden somehow counted as a room, and it was trying to put a freeze on that, and it was super frustrating. But I'm putting these like wrought iron pillars on all sides of the church. I thought it made it look a little bit more complete, especially with the freezes, how big they are. The columns really just balance it out a little bit. And then I'm just kind of adjusting some of the ivies here. I wanted it to look like higher in some places and lower in other places, but also underneath the first level freeze, because I didn't know, like, they don't go over the freeze, they kind of go under and through it. And I didn't know if that looked right. Like, to me, it just looked a little wrong. I'm pretty happy with the way that this turned out. I think it turned out like a real church, and we've also got a couple of areas where Sims can store urns. It's more of like a mausoleum. That's what I was trying to say. I just couldn't think of it. I was trying to call it like a mortuary, but I knew that that wasn't right. I also added this little statue from the base game onto the little altar, and then a couple of urns from the vampire pack on the back table. And originally I had this little trinket box from the Everyday Clutter kit on the altar as well, but I switched it out with the one from Growing Together because it actually is like a memory box, so you can like put stuff in there throughout the generations, and then you can just like leave it there. But I think you have to like gift it to the next generation when you're an elder. And I'm just creating the little mausoleums now. I used the same brick and roof style from the main church just because it looked a little bit more even, although I couldn't put the freezes on those. I don't know why. It's just a Sims 4 for you. I think you can only do it on like buildings that have 2 floors. I'm not sure. I'm taking the archways from the romantic garden stuff pack and just kind of putting them in front of all of the archways and the doors, just to make it look a little bit fancier and more overgrown because it's got these vines like hanging from it. And inside each mausoleum I added a casket. One is like nicer and the other one is older. I also put a Jerry picture. You know, Jerry's the one that's in there. He's been in the game for long enough. He's probably dead now. And I don't know what the picture of the other one is. I think it's just like a random sailor or something. I also put these candles from the My Wedding Stories on the walls next to the archways. I'm also putting these candles by the archways just to give it a little bit more light in here. I put a bunch of candles from the base game on the floor, just to give it like a more spooky vibe. I'm not gonna lie, I was really putting off the landscaping because I just didn't know how I wanted to set up the graves yet. But as I was searching through debug, I actually found a bunch of like dirt piles for graves, so I put those in a couple places around. And then I put a bunch of like platforms, like 2x4 platforms down in the middle part of the graveyard to signify like maybe some more important people. Like you could technically move all the statues that I have off of there and like put your legacy heirs all on there, and they're still like decorated nice. I put like some flowers and candles on all of them, and then I started placing down like a bunch of things that could be graves. These like statues from Get Famous kind of look like graves to me, so I put 2 of those down, and then I took the little archway that's rounded here, and then I created like a little gazebo almost and put them under there. But I didn't do that on camera because it was just taking me forever to do this build. It took about 4 hours in total. Before we get into the tour, I just want to say thank you for watching. Make sure to hit that like button because it really helps out, and if you're not already, please subscribe to my channel because I would love to see you all here in the next video. I hope you all have an amazing day or evening wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all in the next one. Dag dag!